Hello world, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl CFC Clean Crochet. So guys, today's tutorial is so easy. First of all, you make a chain, and the chain should equal to the how big you want your work to be. Okay, so you measure from, we are starting from the bottom, like the down part of the work, and you chain according to how big you want your work to be. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just making a demonstration of how to make the entire attire. Okay, so next of all, you make double crochets, 2 double crochets in the first stitch hole that you have. You skip the next stitch hole, then in the next you make another 2 double crochets into the same stitch hole. Okay, so basically what we are doing is we are only skipping the next stitch holes and making 2 double crochets into the next stitch holes that we have. Okay, so we're going to do this throughout the work, and you can use any yarn for this work. You can use any hook to match the yarn as well. Okay, so you make your double crochets in every second stitch holes, and this is it. Next, you chain 1 and you turn your work. Always make sure you chain 1 then you turn your work to make it more flexible. Now we are going to repeat, going back and forth, like until we get to our kneecap. Okay, so I said earlier on that we are starting from down below, so we keep on doing that until we get to your kneecap. So the next row, what you do is you make your double crochet again into the space that you have. So the first and the second double crochets, you make the double crochets there. Then the next one, you indicate the middle part, then you also make 2 double crochets. You can make your 2 double crochets into the space that you have, but to make it more flexible, just locate, there's this small hole right above the space hole, then you make your 2 double crochets there. So instead of there, you make it over here on top. That's what I mean. Okay, so we do that till we get to the end, and this is what we have. You chain 1, then you turn your work again, then you continue making your double crochets into the spaces that you have. So 2 double crochets into each of the spaces. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, turn on your bell, give me a like, and if you have a hype there, give me a hype to share to other people. You can check my other videos as well. So you make it until you get to your knee cap. Yeah, you get to your knee cap, then you're going to change your color to another one. So I'm using 5 different colors for this. Okay, so as usual, you chain and you turn your work like this. Okay, so depending on how big or how wide your work is going to be, you chain according to until you get to your knee cap. Okay, so you can see that we started from below. Now we are going to change the color to a yellow color because we've gotten to the knee cap. And I want to show you something. The black and the yellow color, so this is where we are. The black and the yellow color goes up and up until it gets to one shoulder, your right shoulder. Okay, then there's going to be another color, so we will need a lot of stitch markers for this. So let's indicate before we continue. So when you get to your knee cap, you're going to indicate your right shoulder, and let's say our right shoulder ends here or starts there. So the black is going to take half of it, and the yellow is also going to take half of it. Then let's move on to the left shoulder. Let's see, the left shoulder also starts from here. Then in the middle is our neck hole. Okay, so with this one we are going to divide it into two, because the black color is going to take half and the yellow color is also going to take half. So let's just use another stitch marker in the middle of it like this. Now with the neck hole, that's also going to take two colors, and I'm going to use the green color and the red color for that. So the green is going to take just a little bit of it, and the red is going to take much of the space. So you just indicate and put your stitch marker there. Now with the left side of the shoulders, that's going to take only one color, so you are going to use only white for the right shoulder. Okay, so now we are going to continue with our work by making double crochets, and we work the colors one by one. So we are working on the yellow color for now. We're going to work with the yellow color for now until we get to right below your thigh. Okay, and the black is also going to go up. So let's start with the yellow as well. And yeah, so you always keep the picture by you to know where your changing of colors are to be, but your stitch markers are also there to guide you with whatever you're doing. Okay, so just in case, yeah, so I just ended my black over here, and I'm going in with the yellow. Or you can turn, if you ended on the other side, you can just start with the yellow. Okay, so with the other side, I'm starting with the black until I get to where I'm to start with the yellow color. So you pull your yarn through like this, yeah, to make it firm. Then you continue with your 2 double crochet in each of the stitch spaces that we have. Okay, the next stitch space, sorry, you make 2. The next stitch space, you make 2. Okay, so I'm starting with the yellow, so I just pull the yellow color through the 2 loops, then I continue making my double crochets. And mind you, always keep your excess yarn on one side of your work, so that it's very easy for you to identify the back parts of your work. So we are doing this till we get to the end. Right, and the end too, because you want our work to line up, you just make 1 double crochet. Okay, because you want our work to be straight, so you chain 1 and you turn your work like this. So we've done the yellow, the first row of the yellow. Then we're going to you see, remember we have our stitch markers there, so you can see that the first one, this is where we started black. Now our yellow is also going to, so you continue with the yellow color and the black color until the yellow gets to right before your tie, or a little bit above your tie. Okay, so just like the picture, you can see it is right there, somewhere in the middle, getting to the waist part of the work. Right, so you yarn over and you make your double crochet into the first space, stitch hole, 2 double crochets. It's because I want to really show you how the changing of color is done. That's why I didn't do the full outfit, just something to represent what I'm doing, and for you to know how to do it when you are doing it on a larger outfit. Right, so you continue with your black color. Okay, so let's say we are done with the yellow. So the yellow has gotten to our tie area. Now we are going to move on to our next color. Okay, so you can take off the stitch marker for the black, the first stitch marker, so that it won't confuse you again. Now let's work with the next color. The next color is going to come where your stitch on the next stitch marker is. Okay, so you indicate, you see that stitch marker is over here. So we are going to, so you're going to start from somewhere here and somewhere here, and the next color will come. Okay, so you continue. Now you change to the yellow. So we are making the yellow till we get to the stitch marker where we'll change to our next color. Okay, so we are on the next color. We are changing the color to green, a dark green color or navy green. Okay, now this navy gray is going to also take till we get to that stitch marker there. Okay, so let's continue with the green throughout to the end. you chain 1, you turn your work. Okay, so you're going to continue with the black, continue with the yellow, and we are going to continue with the green until the green gets to, let's check the picture, until the green gets to your thigh. Okay, so right in the middle of the thigh, that's where you have, or your hip. Okay, so we're going to continue with the green till that time, and as we keep on increasing the yellow and the black as well. Okay, you change to the yellow color. Okay, so always when the loop is 2, you yarn over the new color and you continue with the new color. You chain to black. You turn your work. Okay, so we continue with black, we continue with green and yellow, and when the green gets to the height that we want, we will take off the stitch marker for the yellow so that it won't confuse you. Then we'll do the green. So you continue with the black, yellow, and the green, and when the green gets to the next stitch marker, you stop, then you change to another color, just like we've been doing previously. So basically this work, you just need to know where you are starting your new color and where you are ending the new color. Okay, so you do all these things right from the beginning where you go to the hip with the black. Then you make sure you use stitch marker. I advise you use stitch markers that corresponds with the colors that you are using, so that it will be very easy for you to know. Okay, okay, so our green ends here. That's our stitch marker is ending. Now we're going to change the color to red color. Okay, change to red. So 2 loops, then you pull through your red. Then you continue yarning with your red color. Yeah, so you continue the red till you get to the end. Okay, so the red too is going to go up and up until it gets to your waist. Then when you get to the last stitch marker, we chain to another color, which is white. Okay, so you take off any, leaving the last stitch marker over there. So the same thing, you continue with the red until it gets to the hip. You continue with the yellow too, you continue with the black too, as well as the green. And when the red gets to the hip, you chain to the next color, which is white. Yeah, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a like, comment below, check out the other videos, and if there's hype, you give me a hype. If there's super thanks, you give me super thanks, and whatever is there below your medium of player, just click on it for me. Yeah, so you complete your work with your double crochet, you chain one and you turn your work. Now let's just say the red is at our hip area. The red is at our waist or our hip, wherever you want to call it. Anyway, so we're going to end there. So you continue with your black, your red. Yeah, so this is it. When you get to the stitch marker, you're going to change to that. So let's just make another row of it. Then when we turn our work, we do the whites. Alright guys, so this is where we are going to start our whites. Yeah, the white will end there. So let's keep the rest somewhere and take our next color, which is going to be our last color. So with the 2 loops, you yarn through the white, the next color. Then you continue with the white color with your 2 double crochet in each of the spaces that you have. Okay, so let's see this stitch marker here. Okay, so we are right on it. Now we are changing to the red, and we change to green, then we are changing to yellow, then we'll end with the black. Okay, now that we are done changing our colors, we'll continue with the color. So now with this stage you continue with it. Where there is black, you change to black. Where there is yellow, you change to yellow. Where there is green, you change to green. Where there is red, you change to red. And where there is white, you change to white. So you keep on until you get to your neck area. So remember that we started right from below the outfit. Now we are moving upwards, and when we get to the neck area, you're going to stop and you create a neck hole and the shoulders as well. Okay, so you can take off your stitch markers because you're done with it. So you keep on increasing the height of your work until you get to your neck. So let's do that and see. So at the end, this is all you should be getting. You should be getting something like this. Then remember that we said that the black and yellow goes to one shoulder and the white also goes to the left shoulder, and the middle part is where our neck hole is. Okay, so what you are going to do is for you to not to be confused, just put some stitch markers there so that you not be confused. Now we are going to increase this side and increase this side so that we create the shoulder level. Well, so with the increment, it's the same thing. You just do your double crochets on it with the appropriate color. So the black will increase, the yellow will increase. Then you leave that, you come to this side and you increase the white as well. So let's do that. Okay, so you're done with the one shoulder. You continue with the next shoulder. Okay, so the number of rows for you to get to your shoulder level depends on you and the yarn and the hook that you're using. Okay, so when it is above enough to get to your shoulders, then you are good to go. It's because I'm using this one, that's why I only did one row. Okay, so let's just imagine that you've got into the shoulder level. Okay, so this is it. You see that the neck hole has been created. All right, so you make another piece of this and you join them together, and always make sure that at the end the neck hole you make single crochets on it and you're good to go. So this is another piece of the same size of it, so one will go to the back and one will go to the front. So you fix this with a single crochet, or you use stitch marker in fixing the side, leaving the middle part. Okay, so you fix this, you join this one and join this side too. Then you also join, you create an armhole. Okay, so depending on how big you want your armhole to be, just leave the space, then you start joining from here to the end. Then you do the same thing for the other side. You leave the space hole for your arm, then you join from there to the end of your work. Okay guys, then you make single crochets to make your work and look finished. So you make single crochets at the armholes and the neck holes, guys. So you can see that you made you sealed this, the part, the side. Then we made single crochets at the armholes to make it solid, and the neck hole to also make it solid. So the neck hole, we made 5 rows of single crochets to make it look very solid, and we did another single crochet at this side too. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as well. I want to see your creative work, so tag me anytime you make this outfit. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you guys in my next video tutorial. Bye.